Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's the Bears going up against the Lions. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started, and we are underway from Ford Field. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go!
Now a play fake here on first down. And his first look is incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. That'll bring up second down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was in the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
Dante Hightower is a guy who can play the run with the best of anyone in the league, but he'll fool you a little bit in pass coverage. Not so bad there as well.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's go! What? Done! Ohio! Ohio! Ohio!
And the wideout in motion. They go play action now. Boykin. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Now the Bears' 6th-round pick in 2014, Pat O'Donnell on to punt. And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Eight yards to go here on 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone. Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Let's go. Ryan 38.
Now a receiver in motion left. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Derrick Henry, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. And it's up and good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Luke Kuechly's absolutely amazing. Maybe the best middle linebacker in the game. Not only is he cerebral, this guy's athleticism is off the charts.
Throwing again, and they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. The play clock's running down. 3rd and long here for Mariota. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. After the interception, here's Boykin. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. J.J. Nelson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they begin the drive with Abdullah. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
2nd down, Mariota. And Jones has it over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Mariota now on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's third down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Mariota from the gun on third down. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Sam Martin to punt it away for Detroit. Fielded at the 33. Henry, the lone man in the backfield.
Here we go.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Boykin on 1st and 10. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it a second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Boykin on second down. Being chased out left. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
So the offense needing 4 yards. It's third down. From the gun on third, it's Boykin. And that is incomplete. Derrick Henry, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And now it's fourth down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Oh, he shifts past him. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
They'll come out in the pistol. First down, Mariota. Deep drop. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete. But in tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Here we go.
Second and 10. It's Boykin again. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. It doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So here come the Lions now. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
A second down run for Abdullah. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Two minutes gone by, second quarter. Play action now. Mariota under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a third and long.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
On third down, Mariota completing it here to Marvin Jones. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. This will be fielded at the 17. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. 2nd down, 8. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right.
Let's go. Flex round.
Halfback sent in motion. On 2nd down, it's Boykin. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Boykin looks for White, but it's intercepted. And he's got room. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
And he puts it through. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Let's go.
Throwing here, Boykin on first. Dancing to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Another pistol look here. Derrick Henry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. Here's Boykin, off play action. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
In motion right is Tate. On 1st down, Abdullah. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
Let's go. Ryan 38.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a quick throw here that's complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now a handoff to Henry. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up.
And got his man complete. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the... Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Henry, the lone man in the backfield. In motion left moves Nelson. On first down, Boykin. In middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. And they get 28 yards on that one. And the Bears are set up now, first and goal.
Let's go.
First down and goal to go from the 7. They'll try and run for it with Henry. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here we go. 1-9.
Now Boykin on second down. This will be caught at about the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Their big tight end as the first half is winding down. And the Bears will add on to their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They start the drive with Abdullah. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And last Last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Now a second down throw for Mariota. Surveying the field. He's going to launch this thing. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Lions are a 2-point conversion away from tying this game. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because it's just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear a coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Give him 30 yards there. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
12 yards on the pickup, and it'll be first down Bears.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the second level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be a second down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Kevin White, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears have taken the lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, Every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They go with a duel again. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, free safety was there, no gain.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Let's just go ahead and go back through that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, or if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do, and if he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude him? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
Let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep, and that's caught inside the 30. A huge play there for Chicago. 47 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all of that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top and make a big catch.
And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Nearly lost the football, but kept it after the fumble. But now they face a third down. One receiver left, 3 to the right. On third down, Boykin looking for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend, because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
And his kick is indeed good, and that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Play clock winding down. First down, Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose. And first and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Back now at Ford Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Second and goal from the 7th. They'll give Henry another shot. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2, now third down. And this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And this is going to be incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And his kick here is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Second down, Mariota. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
Throwing is Mariota. He completes it to Julio Jones. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. Fourth down. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated then Julio Jones, because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Henry, the lone man in the backfield. Now it's Boykin. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin Taylor able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of 3.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, here's Boykin. And this is caught at the 8. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Second down following the incompletion. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And that is incomplete.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance and they have any decision to make on fourth down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This from 25 yards out. And this one is right through. And that will swell the lead to 16. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now a give, left side. This is Abdullah. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And quickly they get to the line. Again, it's Abdullah. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. And the back goes into motion. A first down throw for Mariota. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. It's a pickup of 14 there. And it'll be first down Detroit. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Mariota on first down. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
To throw Mariota. A left side completion to Jones. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll be first down Lions. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. First down, Mariota. That is caught at the 7. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part one of the equation done. Now they need to convert, then get that onside kick. Mariota will look to throw. That's caught at the 1. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us.
And this is caught, and that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better, and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base. From the pistol, they'll run with Abdullah. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The motion man is Tate. Now a second down throw for Mariota. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Mariota. He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The motion man is Tate. Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. It's caught. Jones. Give him 7 on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. One last shot now for Mariota. Now a desperation, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help